Welcome back to The Count, where we're counting down the major stories of the week. I'm Krisha Lenzo.
And I'm Bill Spadia. Moving on to story number 2. Air quality crisis. Smoke from hundreds of Canadian wildfires burning an estimated reported 7 to 14 million acres, simply choking the skies from Minnesota to Vermont and as far south as Washington, D.C. We're certainly feeling it here in New York, putting millions under air quality alerts. Now, President Trump is threatening new tariffs on Canada over the wildfire smoke crossing into the U.S., saying Americans are being hit by, quote, unhealthy air. To discuss it, let's bring in Dr. Frank Conatessa, an internist at Custom Care Medical, and Michael A. Charbonne, host of the Charbonne Report. Welcome to you both. Doc, I want to start with you. President Trump took to Truth Social, calling out Canada with a post saying, in part, Canada has refused to engage in basic forest management and debris removal, knowing that such refusal will lead to exactly this result. This is willful negligence and becoming a yearly occurrence, costing the U.S. billions of dollars, which cost of this pollution must, of necessity, be added to the tariffs Canada is currently paying. Okay, so what do you think? Actually, Michael, let me get your thoughts on that first, because should the tariffs be used as leverage to force Canada to deal with the forestation and handling the wildfires?
The parallels of the smoke and our tariffs is that both America and Canada are suffering. Unfortunately, this is a natural occurrence of God, as one would say, with these millions of acres burning. I mean, 3,500 fires registered, of which 890 are burning currently. And yes, they're creating smoke. The problem is that there was some negligence in mismanagement of forestation, but one can't say that Canadians are not suffering. And to bind the two together is unfortunately disheartening when we're at the core now of trying to negotiate a trade settlement with Canada and the United States. I mean, CUSMA expired as of July 1st. And the fires aren't helping. But we, like our friends in the United States, are both experiencing this horrible nature. I mean, I was out yesterday, I looked up, and the sun was red. And it harkens back to a Roman times when they say when the sun was red or the moon was red, that was disaster and catastrophe. So I think it's unfortunate, Bill and Krista, that they would match the two together.
That's interesting.
And I think we've got to concentrate on a shared management. Just remember what happened in January in California. When those fires occurred, Canada came to the United States rescue. And I know that the United States will hopefully help us as well. But to bind it with the trade, I don't believe that's really a sensible issue at this point.
Okay, well, turning to what's occurring here in the States, I mean, 3 U.S. cities, we're also experiencing it really poorly here. They rank in the top 5 for worst air quality in the world. In the first place for worst air quality is Detroit, Michigan, then Minneapolis, Minnesota, followed by Chicago. And rounding out the top 5, we have Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Toronto, Canada. That's all according to IQ Air. So, Dr. Frank, how dangerous is this exposure for the lungs and the heart, especially for children and seniors, and also people with asthma?
Well, Bill and Krisha, the answer is it's really quite dangerous. There were some estimates in 2022. There were similar Canadian wildfires, and there were estimates that there were between 4,000 and 7,000 premature deaths related to that smoke exposure. It's a real risk, and as you mentioned, it's people with asthma. But it's not just breathing issues like asthma and COPD. It's heart disease as well. We see a lot of heart failure because these particles are so small that they can actually get into the lung tissue themselves, the alveoli of the lungs, even into the bloodstream. So you can actually see strain on the heart and heart failure. We see increased incidence of heart attacks and strokes. It's not just breathing and asthma attacks. So the real health issue is large. We can see premature deaths, and you know, people need to limit their exposures. That last graphic with the air quality numbers, anything really above 100 or 150 becomes dangerous and hazardous. We were seeing numbers into the 300s. That means going outside at all, even for healthy people, is very risky, not just for people who are sick. So anything over, the 150 level, stay inside, watch the air quality numbers from the weather. The good news is The weather report says that this is all going to be moving out over the next day or so. So I think we should be looking at a better picture going forward.
Frank, real quick, Doc, just people during COVID were putting masks on, even though all the logic and facts told us the virus was way too small, it would get through. Is there a way out? Do you need an N95 mask for the people that actually have to be outside that might be compromised?
Well, that's a great question. And the answer is cloth masks and surgical masks, paper masks don't work at all for something like this. The particles are 30 times finer than the width of a human hair. But an N95 should stop most of it, but they have to be properly fit. And when I see people walking around with N95s, they rarely are. They have to be really tightly fit around the face to block out anything coming from the outside. So if somebody has to be outside, masks will actually help in this situation if they're properly fit to filter out those particles.
Dr. Frank Contessessa, always good to see you. Michael Charbonne, thank you. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.